It is the story of Michele Ferrero, the boy who took his father's humble bakery and transformed it into a $40 billion chocolate empire. That's right, a bakery. Not a tech startup, not a Wall Street fortune, just a simple family business baking bread and pastries. So how did this seemingly ordinary boy achieve the extraordinary? In this video, we will get into the story of Ferrero Rocher and see how it turned out to be what it is today. So stick around and take a bite out of this incredible story. A Ferrero Rocher is a luxurious chocolate and hazelnut confection created by the Italian chocolatier. Over 3.5 billion Ferrero Rochers are produced each year, but the company hasn't been like that since the very beginning. Let's get into the history of the boy who started it from a mere bakery and turned it into a billion-dollar empire. The Ferrero story begins with Pietro Ferrero, a tough and determined man. From humble beginnings, Pietro started a revolutionary business in 1923 that would sweeten the world and change the candy industry forever. Pietro found his true love in Piera Solario a year into running his dessert shop. They got married the next year to make things official. When their son, Michele, came home, it was a new part of their sweet lives. Michele Ferrero had a pretty rough start to life. He was born in 1925 in the beautiful area of Piedmont in northwest Italy. The Ferrero family's life was like a patch of difficulties. They moved from city to city for almost 10 years. Then, in 1938, Pietro had a brave urge. He wanted to give cookies to Italian soldiers in East Africa. What a brave move! He got back just in time though, just before World War II broke out and set the world on fire. Piedmont, which is close to Switzerland and has the Alps as a backdrop, was the right place for the Ferrero family's story to unfold. Michele grew up in the charming town of Alba, which is between Turin and Genoa. His early years were shaped by the town's past of famous vineyards, the Romans, and impressive buildings from the 12th century. Due to the scarcity of chocolate during the war, Pietro set out to invent a delightful treat that a larger number of people could enjoy. Now comes Giovanni Ferrero, Pietro's younger brother, who recognized a previously unmet need for chocolate. Everyone wanted the delicious taste of cocoa, but it was hard to come by. Pietro eagerly accepted the chance to explore new possibilities. Now, Pietro diligently experimented with toasted hazelnuts, cocoa, molasses, coconut butter, and vegetable oil in his chocolate laboratory. Finally, after going through multiple attempts, there it is. Great news! A delectable masterpiece that is sure to leave a lasting impression. He finally made his version of gianduja, a thick, dark chocolate paste from that area. Pietro's creation, sold in little cakes and wrapped in shiny aluminum foil, had all the ingredients for a big hit in the food world. It had to be sliced and spread like the good old days. They had no idea this small-town favorite would soon be loved nationwide. Giovanni Pietro Ferrero started Ferrero with his brother in 1946. What started as a small chocolate and dessert shop quickly grew into a huge company. To everyone's surprise, Pietro's best business decision wasn't about the shop. It was about the birth of Michele. Michele grew up in the small, quiet town of Alba. By the end of his career, he had turned it from a simple rural area into a world powerhouse. He learned the skill from his father and carefully followed in his steps. But sadness struck when Pietro died suddenly at the age of 51. After these sudden events, Giovanni and Michele were in charge of the company. In less than 10 years, Giovanni's death was another blow to Michele. Now that Michele was in charge of a successful business, he had to steer it through unknown waters. The story of Ferrero, which began with a search for the best combination of chocolate and hazelnuts, kept going. Italy, during a time when chocolate encountered a formidable rival, war. The country faced a challenging situation as it became isolated from the rest of Europe, making it difficult to import chocolate. The Ferrero business, like many others, found itself at a critical juncture. It was a critical moment when determination and creativity would determine the outcome. Amid a difficult time, the Ferrero family needed a bold and innovative strategy to ensure the survival of their confectionery business. Michele Ferrero, undeterred by the conventional standards of chocolate bars and fillings, Michele imagined something much more captivating. He devised a plan to save the business and completely transform how people experience chocolate. Hazelnuts took center stage in this sweet story. Michele set out a clear goal: to revolutionize how people enjoy chocolate. No longer bound by convention, he harbored something genuinely exceptional. And so, amidst challenging circumstances, Super Crema came into existence. Michele developed a unique idea in his chocolate lab that would quickly become a beloved staple. Super Crema was more than just a spread, a delightful revelation, a unique and delicious way to satisfy your chocolate cravings. Michele's brilliant move saved the Ferrero business and set up the environment for a confectionery empire that would bring sweetness to the world. It wasn't just a spread, but a game changer that would change how Italians ate chocolate forever. Italians could buy Super Crema in a jar with other creams every day. It brought high-end chocolate to them. Chocolate was a special treat that only a few could buy, but now everyone enjoys it daily. In a daring marketing move, Michele displayed his strategic expertise. Children in Italy received chocolates from a vehicle decorated with the company's colors. Michele demonstrated his vision in this insignificant deed by seeing the potential of marketing and advertising to create demand. According to Michele, Ferrero grew a lot while he was in charge. 3 new plants grew, and 2 of them went beyond the borders of Italy, entering the German market, where old missile plants were turned into candy-making havens, was the key to his success. Michele took advantage of the chance by using the infrastructure built after the war and the growing demand for candy bars. Michele made another essential choice in 1964 when he changed the name of Super Crema to Nutella. Behind the scenes, this makeover looked easy, but it was a highly complex process. Michele made Nutella using a closely guarded recipe. He got this from his father, who loved finding the right mix of ingredients. The formula was so secret that the factories wouldn't let the reporters in, and the original recipe was said to be locked away in an Egyptian vault. Nutella became loved by people of all ages and backgrounds, especially young people in Europe. Michele took his chocolate business to the United States in 1983, and Nutella quickly became famous worldwide. Michele was happy to see Nutella's rise, and he didn't plan to slow down. His brilliant idea opened up new markets and sealed Ferrero's place in candy history. In 1968, Michele Ferrero opened up a sweet surprise for children, Kinder, a product tailor-made for the younger audience. Taking its name from the German word for children, Kinder became an instant hit. Michele, who already ventured into Germany with manufacturing, demonstrated his knack for understanding the market's tastes. Kinder was a more traditional candy, unlike the rich and luxurious Nutella or Ferrero Rocher. Its unique blend of milk, chocolate, sugar, milk powder, and cocoa created a delightful treat that set it apart from the competition. The company continued to innovate, introducing a range of Kinder products, including the iconic Kinder Surprise, egg-shaped chocolates wrapping a tiny toy, adding an element of excitement to every bite. Michele's marketing genius was evident in Kinder Bueno wafer sticks, Kinder Maxi King ice creams, and a myriad of other products, all strategically targeting children as the primary audience. Despite diversifying the product line, in 1969, Ferrero was gearing up to reveal something extraordinary. Not a rich chocolate or smooth spread, but a breath mint, and thus Tic Tac was born. Introduced to the American market, Tic Tac was not just any mint, it was a breath mint with only 1.5 calories, perfectly aligning with the health-conscious trends of the time. And what's even more exciting? Ferrero knew that innovation was the key to spreading to the world. They introduced new flavors like blueberry and donuts, going beyond the ordinary and taking our taste buds on a delightful journey. They even offered sugar-free versions for those who wanted to treat themselves guilt-free. Michele skillfully maintained the company's pristine premium image. In just over 3 decades, Ferrero had crafted delectable treats for various markets and successfully established distinct brands for each product. In 1979, Michele Ferrero showed the world his masterpiece, the Ferrero Rocher, a chocolate bar that would become one of the world's most popular treats. Some people believe the name Roche comes from the grotto, where a saint said he saw the Virgin Mary. Michele was so moved that he went to Roche de Mésopiel in Lourdes, in the south of France, and gave his new chocolate creation the name of Ferrero Rocher. This spiritual link stayed strong, and Michele kept going to see the Lord all through his life. In addition to being based on a delicious idea, Ferrero Rocher's appeal comes from its many layers: a crunchy hazelnut covered in Nutella, a wafer shell, and chocolate and roasted hazelnut bits on top. The fourth layer, the golden foil that wraps each piece, makes it look extra fancy. The carefully designed packaging, often linked with wealth, makes the candy seem like a high-end item that comes from wealth. Over half of Ferrero Rocher's sales run up to Christmas and New Year's Eve, when they are wrapped in gold foil and ready to be eaten. Michele's tireless attempts to globalize Ferrero's business grew its global reach. He set up 8 factories and sales offices on 5 continents, got raw materials from various places, and strategically divided the company into different brands to protect its image. Under Michele's direction, Ferrero Rocher became the ultimate treat. Kinder became the favorite among kids, and Nutella became a go-to for all kinds of foods. Even though the company went global, it stayed out of politics and only did a few deals. Michele never wavered in his dedication to his roots. He backed projects like expanding bus lines to bring in workers and many social programs that helped build a local workforce deeply rooted in the town, just like Michele. It quietly spread its appeal across Europe and later to the US in 1988. What started as a chocolate treat became a luxury and refined taste symbol. Ferrero Rocher's journey is nothing short of a modern fairy tale. It is known in 42 countries and sells 3.6 billion units yearly. In 2005, Ferrero even landed a Guinness World Record for hosting the most extensive continental breakfast to celebrate Nutella's anniversary. Even after Michele Ferrero died in 2015, his work lived on. His influence was felt for a long time because the world empire's headquarters stayed in Turin. With a net worth of more than $25 billion, he was the wealthiest person in Italy, and most of his money came from chocolate. Michele Ferrero is known as the King of Chocolate by a statue in Alba. Are you inspired by the story of this little boy who had grown to heights of glory in his chocolate business? Do let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more.